Hey guys, today I'm gonna quickly show you in a quick video how you can basically model a hotel room in 3ds Max, a complete walkthrough but in a fast way. So I just imported the plan inside 3ds Max, and I did this by going to import, and then choose your file. And I usually keep the settings, I can even show you. Import, then this one, and I use millimeters because the drawing is drawn in millimeters, but I rescale it to centimeters because I'm working in centimeters here. And this is quite important, I keep it here because it gives me usually the best result. And the first thing that I do whenever a plan comes in, I go to group and then group, and I call it plan. So when this option is grayed out for you, it usually is because there are some hidden layers in your AutoCAD that you can then easily go ahead and fix. Now I have different rooms here, but I'm going with the one that I think it's a nice one, and I guess I am either going with this one or this one, but yeah, probably I'm going with this one. And what I'm doing, because I know that this one is quite a square layout, and I also know the room height because I measured it on site, so I go ahead and use boxes for my wall creation because it's just the fastest for this type of work. And they're all snapping now to this height that I set to 260. So you can stay with me for a second. I will maybe fast forward this for you so you don't need to. Yeah. So then I am using Corona for my renderer. I don't know what you guys use. It's an oversection here, but this does not matter so much because I think we will not see this. So there's a side room even in this hotel, hotel room, for kids or even for yeah, can be for another couple. And here I know that this window is not that high, so I'll give it later the correct dimension. This wall is over there, and this one, let's see what I'm doing about that one, because I don't know yet how to design this whole thing, but it will come when I start drawing here, so bear with me for a second. Here now I am almost already done with this floor plan. I just have to put this at a height around 40, minus 40, because I know that the windows are not all the way up to the ceiling height, because this is a restructuration, so I cannot open it all the way up, but we already opened the window size here, so yeah. Okay guys, that's the basic room modeling. Now you can go ahead and what I tend to do now is to either you can make it with a line your flooring, because it also kind of makes sense. And here I like to go in the middle of the window, because you will see later why this is more or less important to go in. Because what I do for wood flooring, for example, because I know that here I want to have wood flooring. Oh, here is missing still a piece of wall. I'll put it. I like to use line, and just be careful here to not drag them, so they're just corners, no beziers. And here let's go, because we need to also cut later the door. So we go in the middle of this wall, and there actually in the bathroom are going to be tiles, so here's what I'm using, and that's why I am making this like so. Yeah, and here we go. Our floor line is finished. We close the spline. I go to modifiers. I use floor generator. If you don't have the script, you should really go ahead and download it. It's an amazing script that helps you create realistic looking wood floors that are just out of this world. And I use this kind of settings for a regular wooden floor. In this case, maybe slightly larger planks are good. And you could now go ahead and change the direction if you want to turn it around. Just be sure to use angle snap so you would know when 90 degrees is occurring. Of course, this is something that I wish Autodesk or floor generator had, or no, actually I think it's an Autodesk thing, that they should include this option to see the angles of the rotation when you do gizmo rotations, because you can actually not see it, and that's quite annoying. So you have to guess where the 90 degrees is. I mean, if you have your angle snap on and you know that your rotation is 5 degrees, you more or less get it, but you can set it also to 90. That would solve this issue. Well, then let's go ahead and let's finish putting this wall. And guys, I'm using Corona for rendering. This is my preferred go-to, and I will show you just how fast all of those things can be or are now that we are in 2025 and almost 2026, and we have Chaos Cosmos, which is just an amazing invention. So first of all, I like to use an HDRI here. You can use these are just my liked ones, I think, or no, these are the ones that I downloaded. Yeah, so I will just use one of those that I already downloaded, but you could go ahead and of course choose from not the downloaded one, but all the ones that are online, and you will find those. So, and for my walls, what I like to do is I go to front view, I go and press G, and now all of my walls are selected. What I like to do is also to make a group of those and call it walls, because that's what we wanna do. And then go to materials, and what I use here is a wall material that is pretty much always used. This one, it's just amazing for my kind of scenario. This is perfect. I mean, you could go ahead and scale the texture slightly, but even that would be not really a difficult thing to do. Let's just fix this thing here, because we also need this window to not go all the way up, and it should be only starting at 90, and this will be my double window. So then I have some other things to do still. I wanna draw also these two walls over there that I might want to do in tiles, but I'm not sure yet. And you see, guys, I'm skipping also doors, because really it's such an easy thing nowadays to just use Boolean. That's what I do with my doors. I usually use Boolean. You could use just editable poly by converting it. Sometimes if you have more kind of segments, it can mess up quite a bit the Boolean. So in that case, it's better to use the polygon selection from your editable poly. But here in this case, it will work fine, I hope. So let's go to compound, pro Boolean, start picking, move this thing away, and you see, voila, you have your opening of your door. And the same thing goes over here. We just draw a box. We draw this box to be, yeah, let's say we draw it this much, zackety, and give it a little bit more thickness. That's usually a good idea when you're doing pro Booleans. or boolean in any type, because it will just do better, perform nicer. I mean, this is a tiny buffer, but still it has this shiny thing to it. And really here, guys, let's be lazy, because lazy people are my favorite kind of people. And let's not draw this flooring with a line, but let's use, no, I was too lazy. That's what happens when you're lazy. I mean, now let's hide this so we don't have any problems with the selection, because that can mess up sometimes. And let's just go through this thing, and I want to use the floor generator as well here. So let's go in and use floor generator again, but this time for tiles, and I know my tile size already for this project. And yeah, you could go ahead and add also a groove. In this case I will do, and I will though have a less bevel, and the extrusion I usually keep it that way, but this is a good thing to use for tiles, I think, at least in my opinion. And guys, you know, you can use your, not your imagination, but I mean, you can use, yeah, you can actually use offset here if you want to start right at the line. No, I think it's more pretty than having this thing, but that's a minor detail, guys. You can also keep it like this, and you can of course also set it to not have the offset tiling. Yeah, but I usually keep that this way. So we want to use the material. So easy, guys. You go into, let's go into stone, because we're using a tile that looks like a terrazzo. So either you go with the scanned materials. Sometimes you have to be a little bit careful with the scanned materials, because they, at least in my version that I'm using, they are interfering sometimes still, but we can check if this one works. That's still downloading. Sometimes they are also a bit bigger in terms of file, which is okay though. And let's use it as our tile material. Voila, it's here. Maybe it's a bit big, because you can choose here, no, because I'm working in real world scale, and here sometimes you get the option to choose real world scale or not. Like, look here, it's on. In the scan material I didn't really find it. And also a thing that I think with the, oh, that's a problem I'll just have to fix for a second. There's something with my license again. Okay guys, sorry, there was some problem. Sometimes it happens with my license, so I had to do it. Now I just will reset my compact material editor, because mine by default is not set to Corona, but I tried to change this already, but I'm working on that. Bear with me. So we wanted this thing to, because I said that here with the scan materials sometimes it can be more tricky to find the map to adjust things than in your usual Corona physical materials, so this is a bit more challenging to do here. Anyway, we're not gonna use that, and we're using the gizmo for the floor generator. I use without real world scale, because I saw that it works just better for me. And yeah, since it's quite well tiled, this one, we don't need to go inside and do other adjustments on the tiling here. So guys, this is it for now. I will do the modeling of the furniture next time, and thank you for sticking with me for this time, and have a wonderful time modeling. Bye.